Commence primary ignition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Life at Lightspeed podcast. My name is Colin,
And I'm Brooke.
and we're here to talk about
I'll remember it someday.
someday,
Yeah.
somewhere,
Somewhere.
over the rainbow.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz.
We are here to talk all things Star Wars. We are back after a week. I was in Texas. I was able to hang out with a friend, do a lot of work. So life has been busy. Including in the world of Star Wars. Sam Witwer has announced that he has a new perspective for Maul on the Jedi specifically, in the new show Maul Shadow Lord. And not only that, we also have very unfortunate news about Star Wars Insider ending and its final issues and more.
Womp womp.
But yeah, first things first, I'm going to grab Hayden because I can already tell he is going to be all over the place today. Stand by.
As usual, Hayden has a lot to say, but we do not know what it is. We're eagerly awaiting his first word that is not mama or dada.
We are so close to Max Rebo. No? Do you not want to play with R2?
Oh.
Hi. So for this week, do you want to read the quote about Sam Witwer?
That sounds like something I should have had pulled up.
I can pull it up
phone.
too.
So let's see. It's that first one, yeah?
Yep.
Hold on. The internet likes to have ads. All right. So we've got, he's confused and a little apprehensive. We're picking up after the Clone Wars. The Empire has taken over and Maul is reassessing everything. There are plans in place that were supposed to insulate him from the changes when the Empire came to power, and a lot of people that were supposed to be there for him were not. He's getting back on his feet, the dust is clearing, and he's looking around at the Empire, the thing that he and his master had been working towards since he was an apprentice, and thinking, is this what Palpatine had in mind, and how do I feel about this? Because, yeah, you have to think, like, Maul is just another one of the people that Palpatine has manipulated, right, to get what he wants in the end. And Maul, I think, is kind of having a come to the Force moment, for a lack of a better term, and being like, wait a minute, this is not what I thought it was going to be. You know, I got used. And so I bet he feels incredibly isolated because he's got nobody, right? So I'm very intrigued to see how that's going to be for him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting time for Maul. And even from that first trailer that we got of where he is even like, he's talking calmly, he is sipping tea. It is a very interesting time for him. And I think that during that year from at the end of season 7 of Clone Wars to where we see him in this show, I think it really gives him time to reflect on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet we're going to be seeing a lot of reflection.
Yes.
Because, yeah, like, essentially everything he thought he knew is not that way, right? So he kind of has to, like, reinvent himself and kind of find his new purpose, right? Because, like, what is his purpose? Because over all this time he was, working with Palpatine because they wanted this, however Palpatine spun it to him, this new empire. He's realizing it's not what he wanted and he's no longer a part of it.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah. So we'll have to see. It's coming up in the beginning of April. And
which is so soon. Like
yeah.
basically a month away.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For VCN, we are calling this month March Maulness.
Ooh.
I discovered this recently and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the name.
I like
Solid.
it. I like it.
Solid name.
Do we have some kind of like bracket?
So all of the different shows on the network will be talking about Maul throughout the month leading up to the show. We're in the works of doing some type of giveaways. But for our show, I wanted to talk about maybe our favorite highlights of the character of Maul.
Oh. Highlights. What I like about Maul, I like characters who are morally gray, for lack of a better term, who are not like pure evil, pure good. They make you think, right? Because I don't think really there's anybody in this world who's like pure good. So it just feels very realistic to me. So I like that about Maul. And I like, seeing what became of him in the Clone Wars, as like the TV show, especially because, when you just watch the Phantom Menace, you're like, yep, he's just this bad dude. Got to get rid of him. But then you get more context into him and you're like, okay, intriguing. Yeah, Hayden has a lot of thoughts as well. Yeah, and I gotta say, I was very intrigued by the notion of a him and Ahsoka team up. At the end of Clone Wars, I would have been interested to see what that might look like.
I didn't think they would team up. I
didn't
really think that was a moment that was kind of like below Ahsoka, and
yes and no.
It just would have been out of character for me if she was like, "Yeah, let's team up and escape out of here."
She was kind of with the initial proposal, like when he initially was like, "Work with me," I think she was kind of intrigued. She was intrigued because she also had felt that something was going on with the Republic, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think she would have stooped to any like Maul levels. Like, don't get me wrong, she's my favorite character. All right, she would not have done any of that, but I do think she was intrigued to hear him out, and so it just makes you think like what kind of a team up could have. It was an interesting thing for me to kind of envision.
Yeah.
Like, had she agreed?
Yeah, I mean. And I think that is a big, like, what if type situation.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, like for me, it would have been out of character for her. And I think in the moment of when Maul and her had that conversation in the throne room, I think that like of when she said yes, I'll join you. I think that was more of like she was just saying that to get more information out of him to like keep the conversation going. I don't think she ever was planning on actually joining him at all.
I think she was.
Really?
But again,
Okay.
like I said, I don't think she would have stooped to any of like Maul's levels. Like
Okay.
So again, this is why I'm like, I wonder what that would have looked like and what he would have wanted to do.
Okay. I think my moment is probably when he was reintroduced in the Clone Wars, of when we saw him actually come back, where he had the mechanical, spider legs, and then Mother Talzin did her dark magic and brought him to life, and you just see like kind of like the chaos and craziness that like Maul went through kind of wash away from where he's just talking to himself a lot, and he's talking crazy like this, and then all of a sudden he goes, Kenobi, I must have revenge. Like he just goes to that place just
Mhm.
so quick. And I just loved the arc for Maul. And in George Lucas's original trilogy that he had for the sequels, that was going to be where Maul was going to be the main villain. That's why he introduced him in the Clone Wars, because he wanted to continue his story.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I would probably have to say that moment in the Clone Wars of where he is reintroduced. I thought that was super cool.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and then Star Wars Insider is coming to an end, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's sad.
It sounds like did you have any of the old magazines at all?
No, I don't think so.
Hmm. And for people listening to the podcast, for the audio purposes, if you're hearing a child, that's Hayden. He is bored right now. We couldn't find a sitter, so that's on us. But he's here. He's having a good time. But yeah, so I grew up reading those magazines. I even had one of the exclusive vintage R2D2 Insider like magazine holders.
Ah.
Yeah, I love that thing, and I always thought that the articles out of it were so insightful, and I just learned so much more about Star Wars. And with the Clone Wars coming out, it would talk about the highlights of the different episodes that were coming out and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it, and it is sad that's coming to an end. Just because it could be happening for variant reasons. Not that many people read magazines anymore. It could be it's all a digital now, and people can just read in articles, and that's fine. It's just it's an era coming to an end, and it is sad because now my son Hayden, our son Hayden, will not be able to read any new articles about all the different Star Wars stuff coming out if he ends up liking Star Wars and he goes down that path. Um but yeah, so but you never really read any of the
No, I don't believe that was something that was in my universe there.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I cannot wait to for the next upcoming months. Theaters got the new Mandalorian and Grogu poster today in theaters. I may or may not already have my hands on one of them, and it may be hanging up in our living room. So pretty excited about that. I was at the right place at the right time. But yeah, so super excited about that. The trailer last week, I watched the trailer on my drive to Texas, which was almost like a 20-hour
That
drive.
sounds safe.
Well, like I stopped at a rest stop, and that rest stop was the Buc-ee's gas station.
Ooh.
So and it was awesome. It was really cool. I love that the bounty hunter Embo is returning. I thought Embo was so cool in the Clone Wars. He was in the Aftermath series, and he was rumored for a while that he was going to be showing up in this movie. So I'm glad that he is returning. Something that maybe not a lot of people know is that The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 and 3 and the Book of Boba and Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew and this movie all happened in the same year.
1 year?
1 year. I know.
Well, that's a crazy year.
Isn't that? That's what I said, because I was talking with my friend Grayson, shout out, over at the Determined Focused podcast. They're amazing people, Grayson and Will. Shout out to them. Even though that they don't believe Max Rubio has 4 limbs. Hashtag 2 limb believers. Anyways, so Grayson and I were talking about it, and we just dived deep into the timeline, and it was absolutely insane. All that happens in 1 year. So because that happens in 1 year, it makes you kind of question certain things. Like, for example, when Mando goes to when was that, bud? When when Mando goes to see Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett, in the Book of Boba Fett, um, it seems like he was gone for a while, like because he came in, he wanted to drop a gift off for him, and you like just have that sense that like he missed him for a long period of time. But all that happened in 1 year, all of it.
Probably a good few months,
I know, but it's just still crazy to think about. So, uh, and we got a closer look at Rod of the Hut, aka Stinky. He's got these giant kind of two uh two battle axes that that he's using in a fight, and it's really cool because the arena that he's in is like a Dejeric board, which we didn't get from past trailers. So yeah, what? Oh yeah, so it was very, very interesting to see all of that happening in the trailer. And then not only do we get Embo and Rada, but we're also going back to the planet of Nal Hutta, which is super cool. Because we saw Nal Hutta in the Clone Wars, and we see some creatures that we haven't seen since the Clone Wars and Nal Hutta as well. And then you also have Mando taking off his helmet, and Martin.
Doing that quite a bit.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese also makes a cameo as a Ardinian running a food stand, which is kind of funny. Just because I don't think anyone was expecting him to make any type of cameo. But it's cool. I heard that voice right away and was like, huh, no way. So yeah, no, it's coming out in a couple of months. And that month of May alone is just going to be absolutely insane because we got his birthday.
Yeah, your birthday.
We got my birthday. We got Star Wars Day, and including my twin because we both share the same birthday. So our birthday.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then we have my older brother's birthday. We have my niece's birthday. So much going on in May. Yeah, so that is going to be super, super exciting. I'm so excited for that. And then Space Dive is coming back. We will be there both days over at Space Dive the second weekend that's happening. Star Wars Day, of course, is always so busy. And then we have Mos Eisley coming up. It's going to be in Chicago. That's at the end of March. Super exciting. There will be some fun characters there. So if you're going to be in the Chicago area or a con and you've never experienced Mos Eisley, you should definitely go. It's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other great news. Hayden is now 9 months old.
Yeah.
He's so close to walking. He's so close. And he's got a bunch of his bottom teeth in. He's just growing up so fast.
The first year's wild. When you think about how short a year truly is and how much he's changed in that year. Oh.
Okay, that's it. Nope. You have lost your privileges.
You have dropped Max Rebo one too many times.
Once is, sketchy, but two, no, just no. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then recently for our garrison, we had elections, and I was voted in along with my friend Shelby. We are now the CO and XO of our state of Michigan, which is really exciting, and we're really excited to bring a lot to the table for this term. And yeah. But yeah, that's really it for this week. I think it's Hayden's nap time. But yeah, big shout out to the Virtual Cantina Network. There is going to be happening a lot this year, and not only that, there are some announcements happening for Bunta Eve. Mark your calendars. It's coming up soon. All the information is on the virtualcantinanetwork.com. And then also stay tuned for more announcements over at Rebel ScumCon. They just announced more recently. So yeah, stay tuned. Honey, is there anything else that you'd like? Any final words of wisdom?
Oh, enjoy the time that's given to you.
Enjoy
no matter what. Yeah.
No matter what.
Some people might look at this and think, "Wow, she looks uncomfortable." But in reality, I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah. I love that kid so much. Don't drop mom's phone. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Well, from everyone over at the Life of Lightspeed podcast, thank you for listening. We will see you next week. May the force be with you.
Forever and always.
Forever and always.